You are now in tune to the Keys to the City podcast.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of Keys to the City. I'm your host, Trevor Keys, alongside the big brother T3, wearing his Halloween colors, Tennessee colors. I'm surprised he's not wearing the color white like I am, because we're repping the UConn Huskies as they blast away into the national championship. And
I had my white on last night, bro.
Did you?
Of course.
What was I wearing? I was wearing white too. I was representing UConn as well, but what a wild Final Four it was. And just like this tournament was, absolutely phenomenal. I was saying it to somebody last night at the bar luckily I got in.
You in a bar? No.
No. Well, you can check out Keys to the City at all social media platforms.
At all bars located
at
along
all bars located on Atlantic Ave.
Along Campbell Avenue and Atlantic Avenue. Depends if you're in Florida or in West Haven. Find us there every weekend.
What about North Haven? You like Ludow's? Come on, good old Ludow's.
Yeah, but there's no street in North Haven that we can.
Isn't that Broadway? Isn't it Broadway?
Oh yeah, you actually Ludow's, Hard Hat, Amici.
How do I know this and you don't? And you're the one that lives in Connecticut. Come on, man, get your shit together.
Because I don't really care.
You're like, you should care.
I always care. I'm just kidding. Don't worry about it.
I know, but like I was saying, I was at the bar. I was at the bar last night, and I know people complain about Ted nowadays because, oh, well, it's not the sexy matchup. It's not the great matchup. Well, if we just think about it, a year ago, we had the ultimate blue bloods Final Four: Duke, North Carolina, and Kansas Nova. This year is the wildest Final Four that maybe we've ever seen. No number one seeds, and either one. I mean, in a national championship, no one seed is going to win a national championship in both the men's and women's college basketball. So just think about the parity in college sports, or I should say basketball. It's a fantastic situation. But I was just saying to somebody, I was like, I think we should just embrace it and enjoy what happened yesterday, because honestly, I don't know if you feel it. I don't think we'll ever see a Final Four how this Final Four was shaped up, and just what this overall tournament has been for us college fans and sports fans, Ted.
Yeah, I mean,
so you should just run with it. Let's enjoy it and run with it.
Sorry, I thought you were giving me a leadway.
No. I'm about to lead to it. But Ted, you want to?
Sorry, I was sharing at the same time. I'm working.
It's okay. Hey, multitask, baby. Got to multitask. It's a beautiful thing. We need that. Yeah. We need that. We need multitasking. And now with that shirt, it's all over the place. I mean, you got blue, you got orange.
No, it's all orange. It's all orange. Orange.
Yeah, but what is it? Would you get some bleach on it or something then? And why is there black on it? There's like black or blue on it, right?
You know those Under Armour ones that we have the zip ups, like the white one?
Oh yeah, I love them. But what color is that? Is that orange and black?
Orange and black.
There's another. Okay, so say black. You just said there's all orange. That's not all orange.
Well, there's some black in it.
What's the program, bro?
I got this at TJ Maxx, bro. It was on sale.
Yesterday was the definition of the Final Four. Heartbreak. You got to see honest heartbreak, and you saw continuation. You saw continuation of dominance and brilliance by those UConn Huskies. But we got to start. We got to talk about the first game. When you look at this Final Four, Ted, looked at that FAU game and that San Diego State game, you just felt like, okay, this game had all the makings of coming down to the wire. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I saw what the definition of the highest of highs is and the lowest of lows. I could see how hundreds of people went from being the happiest people in the world to literally a pin drop. I was there.
I can't believe you didn't have your phone out and video.
First of all, I'm not like you, Ted. I'm not like you. I'm not like everybody else where we have to record.
That's the problem.
That's why I need you. But that's why I need you there, Ted.
I'm not down in Boca Raton.
Ted. I wasn't in Boca Raton.
Okay,
I was in Delaware. But Ted, you're like my girl. You're the girlfriend that I never wanted, because you just record everything that I don't need to.
You got to seize the moment. You got to understand what you're doing here. This is
why. So let me record everybody like this, and then be like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, because we're watching here, and Pat's watching the game, and he was showing me a UConn fan that he follows that was at the game, and he was at the game, like in the stadium, and the reaction. Yeah. And I mean, that's what people want, bro. They want the interactive.
I get it. But I'm not the type of person. But you know me. I'm not that type of person.
You need to get involved, because
I don't need to know. I don't need people knowing my business. I don't like that. I don't need to be
what business? What business? Pull out your
I like
phone
to do
and
what
get
I
the.
do.
If they win, you
First
could
of
have
all,
had a moment.
first of all, my camera's
Hold on.
broken on my phone.
Well, get a new phone. Get out of the iPhone 8. You're living in 20.
Oh, I know. Yeah, let's go get the Droid users because the Droid users are really cool people too.
Sorry, the new Samsung 23 Plus is like the best phone on the market.
That's great. You're still a Droid user. I still get green when I have to text you.
Good. I'm glad. Let you know it's Jolly Green.
So we saw heartbreak in the first game, and we saw the continuation of
Domination in the second one. That's
by the It's the continuation of dominance because this is not just part one of the UConn Huskies. This has been this entire tournament, Ted. I mean, they're destined. It's like you feel like you see teams hit. You see, I'm not saying the game's over, but I'm saying with the way that this team has played, that I guess that's just how they've played out so far in this entire tournament. Won by 24 against Iona, won by 15 against St. Mary's, 23 against Arkansas, 28 against the Zags, and then last night beating the Miami Hurricanes by 13. So their average margin of victory in this tournament, Ted, is 22.5. That's got to be like some stuff that when Anthony Davis was playing, when that Kentucky team just ran house on everybody, it just feels like there's nobody that can match up with this team offensively, defensively, and even coaching wise. Like I know if FAU won, Ted, would have been a tremendous story. But if FAU won also, and I was rooting for FAU. I'm a Duke fan for people that know, but I was rooting for FAU and UConn yesterday. I know I'm not a UConn guy, but I'm from the state of UConn. I live in Florida, so I'm rooting for those teams.
Or the state of Connecticut.
Yeah, in the state of Connecticut. That's what I said.
State of UConn.
State of whatever. UConn, Connecticut.
See, we're winners up here. We're winners up here.
Oh, are
Both
we?
Florida schools lost last night. We're winners. We want winners. We can't deal with losers.
UConn women or UConn women didn't win, and UConn men haven't won anything yet. You just said you probably just jinxed it, Teddy Mush.
We're winners.
Why are you looking so blurry? See, you look like a Droid user right now.
It's because
you're very blurry. You're very blurry.
I don't know. I'm only 5 feet away from the edge for that. Doesn't matter. Listen, last night I was, a UConn fan, a huge UConn fan, and I'm watching the game, and I felt for you guys last night down in FAU because.
Did you actually feel for me, brother?
Oh, absolutely. I was definitely.
That makes me feel good.
Feeling it.
You were feeling it.
Yeah, because I was thinking about like the moment because I was like
historic.
My thing is this. I'm like, they're never going to get back here again. FAU will never ever get an opportunity to. Listen, and Dad's like, "What are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about." And then Uncle Jerry's like, "No, they're going to build." I'm like, "You don't get it, bro." Like, Butler was in 2 national championships. Where is Butler now? Now I get it because coaches leave. There's these guys, they want to move up. Dad's like the old school, like, "Oh, you stay there, you build a program." I'm like, "No, bro. Like, if the Boston Celtics call you tomorrow, you're taking the job." It's like, hey, listen, I'm coaching at North Dakota State. That's great. University of Texas calls you. Be the head coach of the football team. I'm going to Texas, bro. I'm not staying at North Dakota State. I got it. I did what I got to do. I'm moving up, bro. Like, that's the name of the game. You're trying to move up. Like, so especially like FAU, man. Like, now the good thing is they're going to be going in the AAC next year. They'll be out of Conference USA, so they'll have more of an opportunity to grow. But like, there is that opportunity. So
I'm glad you brought that up because I said the same thing. The reason why last night is so heartbreaking for the FAU area is because you hit it right on the nail. Nail on the coffin. FAU, maybe San Diego State or even Miami, maybe they never get there again. But FAU definitely, we don't know how the future will play out. But an opportunity like this where you have the entirety of the game in your hands and the way that game played out, and literally, it was for the taking. It was theirs. And to see that game, the way it unfolded down the stretch, and to see them lose the way. First ever buzzer beater at the Final Four, too, they said. Not a national championship. Final Four.
I know.
So, my also big takeaway is, too, even if FAU won last night and they got to the national championship tomorrow to play UConn, you know what game it would have just reminded me of, Ted? Would have reminded me of the college football playoff game that just happened. TCU against Georgia.
Oh.
And the reason I say this is because
FAU
gave it all they had in that game. They played a full-on 40 minutes. It was theirs. You go against a UConn team, that's just a completely different animal right now. Like, we're not talking about UConn in December, where even they were as high as number 2 in this nation. We're not talking about that right now. We're talking about a team that's on a whole nother level, that has not had any real challenge yet faced in this tournament. I would have felt like it would have been just a TCU type Georgia game where it would have just been a blowout, and FAU would have got to the title game. Would have been great for the fans, but probably would have lost by like 20 plus, because UConn is just clicking on all the cylinders, man. They're just they're shooting the ball well. Yes, they're so
guys are
talented right
stepping
now.
up. I mean, okay, so I said my piece on FAU. Very upsetting. Great, unbelievable season.
It sucks, man. It definitely was heartbreaking.
Opportunity that'll probably never come again. But you hope at least for their sake, like the Loyola Chicagos, like the Butlers, like some of the teams we've seen, VCUs, that now that this will bring a little bit more attention to the school. Hopefully the coach
Wichita State. Remember Wichita State?
Yeah, absolutely. And then what
I haven't seen them back.
And their coaches left, and
That's
and then you get the players. I mean, Van Vliet, but hopefully they get some more talent. Though I don't know what their class looks like, senior class, who's leaving, whatnot. But if they brings back some of the guys, they are going to the AAC next year, so they'll face tougher, stiffer competition. But listen, it's an unbelievable run for those kids, for the organization, for the school. You feel for them, especially because the way the game went down, where they had the lead, they were up 14, and then you have the buzzer beater and Lamont Butler. It was funny because we're watching it. I'm watching him dribble the ball, and I'm like, shoot!
They're not gonna. Yeah, I thought they were gonna get the ball off.
I didn't think he knew. And then honestly,
I didn't think he was getting that shot off.
Jordan S. shot. Did that not?
Yes, in the title. Yes, that
perfect.
My roommate, Frank said that. My roommate said the same thing. He's like, that was Jordan-esque type shot in the Final Four of the national championship.
Perfect form, perfect shot, right at the buzzer.
Swish.
Unbelievable. And you're like, oh, because when things like that happen, there's talk about being like, you get that one side where it's just euphoria, that the excitement of what San Diego State felt, and then just like you told me last night when you left
I'm telling you.
Right, and literally you're like, silent.
All I heard was music. I didn't hear people talking. I literally left the bar and all I heard was music playing at other bars. I didn't hear people talking. It was like a pin drop, just literally just popped the balloon and deflated all their dreams and hopes.
Now,
because they were that close.
Yeah. Now the UConn game, great start to the game. Jump up on Miami right off the bat, which you need to do when you're the dominant team. Don't let the other team have a chance to think. Sonogo hits the early threes. UConn played really well in the first half. Actually, they did not play well in the first half. They dominated, but they had 7 turnovers. They played sloppy, I thought, at times during the first half. There was a point where the game was
13 at half.
There were a point where the game was tied, I believe 19-19 all, and then all of a sudden. Here's the thing, UConn, when you're building a basketball team, UConn has it all. They have size. They have athleticism. They play great defense. They have good guard play. They have good coaching. They have depth. They have everything you need. And I thought last night when you watched the game, basketball, especially college basketball, it's all about the runs. You saw it. Well, UConn jumped out to like a 9-0 run, 9-2 run. Then Miami had their like 7-0 run. I remember if you watch UConn.
UConn jumped out to a 4. Yeah.
Miami had a run, then UConn had a run. Miami had a little run, and then UConn. And what was great was they finished the end of the first half with a 3 by Caravan. They come back. They get the ball right off the tip in the second half. They score, and they go up by 20. And then really they just had to play 500 ball in the second half. They maintained. And it was huge because what I was worried with 15:46 left in the first half, Jackson gets his second foul. I'm like, oh, man, because he's kind of the engine that runs the car for that team. He does a little bit of everything. He's the Draymond Green, I feel, of that team.
That's a scary part, man.
He's the leader. He didn't even score. I think late in the game he had a couple alley-oop dunks. I think he finished with 6 points, but he does everything else. He controls everything. Hawkins only had 3 points. It was the first shot of the game in the first half. Then he ended up having 14, I believe, in the second half. So you're talking about 2 of their best players in the first half contributed 3 total points.
And still took
Sonogo was 9 of 11 last night.
Just give him the tournament MVP.
I was talking to Kyle Reynolds last night, and I'm like, Kyle, imagine if they gave him like 15 shots. Like, I don't understand why more offense is not run through him, because there's really not a guy in college basketball right now that can match him with athleticism, size, strength, footwork.
Can I be the honest person? What I saw last night from the game, what's the big man's name? 7'3", Kerrigan.
Klingon. The kid from
He is
Bristol.
he is the ultimate deciding factor and chess piece for that UConn team, because even when Sonogo was on the floor, Miami was still able to get to the basket. You saw
A little bit. But Sunogo had some nice blocks.
You saw but you saw
Yeah,
Juan get to the basket. You saw those guys getting to the basket, and they were Pac was getting
Sunogo's
to the
only
basket.
6'9".
But when he was in, he took away the entire paint area. Like their
And he's
game
only going to get better.
Change where that team was already a one-dimensional ISO ball type team. You see completely different game styles. Larinaga and then wanted to run ISO ball. When he was in, they had to settle for jump shots. They looked uncomfortable. They couldn't get anything flowing inside. Everything had to work from the outside. They probably wanted to work inside, but they got dominated when he was in.
They also missed like 9. They also missed 9 or 11
layups.
Exactly
When Sonogo was in, though, even though his presence offensively and defensively is better than anybody in the tournament right now, they were still getting into the basket. They were still getting baskets. Like he's a game changer. Having those bigs and having him come back, they're just complete on all cylinders. They're just clicking right now, and there's no reason why. Come tomorrow at about 11:30 Eastern time, 8:20 Eastern
They're the
time,
national champ.
Pacific time, that the UConn Huskies should have their 5th national championship.
And
there should be no reason. If not, then it's on them. Shame on them, because they are clearly, by far, and they've shown it for this entire tournament, that they have been, without question, above everyone else in this tournament.
Well, and the last thing I'll say with this is people need to start respecting UConn like all the other Blue Bloods, because there's no better program in the last 20-some years than UConn. They'll have 5 national championships since 1999.
Only one you can probably say is what? Nova?
With 3 different coaches. And here's the other thing. Since 2011, right? It's 2003. That's 12 years. They'd have 3 national championships. So that means every 4 years, they'd have 25% of the championships in the last 12 years.
Oh, they would have won it at 03, 04. Then they would have won 11. Then 14. Then this year, possibly.
And if you think about it, sorry,
it's all in Texas. They do it all in Texas. Other than
last night was payback, Jim Larinaga. Sorry, George Mason.
That one still stings UConn fans. 17 years later, and it still stings.
Talent-wise, that was the best UConn team that they have ever had. Actually, that 04 team was really good with Ben Gordon. And they beat Ginger Tech.
Malik
but
Brown.
Duke almost beat them in the Final Four.
Duke should have beat them.
Yeah, because Okafor got in foul trouble early because they didn't want UConn to win. But what was it? The 06 team with Rudy Gay, Marcus Williams, and Rashad.
That was the year that they went to the 6 overtime game with Syracuse, right?
Rashad Anderson, and then they had Denham Brown.
Yeah, they lost. Yep, the regional final.
I think Hilton Armstrong, Charlie Villanueva.
They had Josh Boone.
They had like 7 pros on that team.
That team was probably the most talented UConn team that I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Marcus
this team
was drafted. Hilton Armstrong with Josh Boone. I think only Denham Brown and Rashad Anderson were not drafted, but the 3 big guys will.
But this team is they're just this team. Even when they lost to Marquette, you still had people having believed like, oh, this team's still a Final Four championship team. I don't think anybody really put into perspective that this team, what they're doing within this entire tournament, just dominate. I mean, they're averaging 22.5 points per victory. What San Diego State? What's the point of showing up tomorrow?
Well, stop. Don't say that. But last night's game could have been a bigger blowout. Hurley's son goes in, causes a foul, gives up an offensive rebound. So that could have been 2 more points they could have got back. But I mean, and then he also pulled his starters. They didn't really care for the last minute and a half. So they were up. They could have easily won by 20 last night. But
let me finish this quickly.
Hey, listen, UConn's in the national championship, just like Ted predicted. I had them winning it all. I had them against Duke, and I had them against Alabama. That didn't happen. But you know what? I think it's still going to be a great game. San Diego State, at least in the first half, they play physical. They play good defense. Even though they really shouldn't be here anyways. But I think at the end of the day, what we've seen from UConn is a dominant performance. And I think we're going to look back at this UConn team and go, damn, we missed out on a really good team that we just didn't realize, because that part of January, early February, when they lost 6 out of 8 games.
Sometimes you got to have those.
But this is similar, though. If you remember the Kimba team, they won the Maui Invitational early. Then they finished 9-9 in the Big East that year. They finished 9-9, and they had the Big East run, that tournament.
They had to make the run in the tournament to even get there, possibly.
It was DePaul on Wednesday. They had Pittsburgh Thursday, whatever. They beat the teams. They win the Big East tournament, and then they make the run in the national tournament and win the March Madness. They were undefeated outside the conference. That's like this UConn team. They were 12-0.
My thing about that team, that Kemba team was just magical. The way that Kemba just literally led.
You know, the last time
this team. Hold on, this team is.
I wasn't done.
You're done in my book.
Well, it's not.
You had enough glory. You had enough glory. Your team's in the national championship.
Listen,
you had enough glory.
Now these two teams,
man.
These two teams faced that Kimba year in the Sweet 16. If you remember, Kimba had 36 points, and your boy Leonard only had 12 points.
Why is he my boy?
Remember, you used to love Leonard.
I love Kawhi. I like Kawhi. What's wrong with Kawhi?
Yeah, guess what? Kimba
He's a fun guy. He's a fun guy.
But that's the last time these two teams faced was that Sweet 16 that year. Kimba had 36. They routed San Diego State. That was the Kawhi Leonard team.
The thing that makes this team so special, this UConn team, dude, they haven't had any competition. Like, there's been at no point in this entire tournament.
Oh, no.
No.
Probably the only one that first game. I don't know. UConn was only up like 3 at half.
There was never a point to me in this entire tournament. I'm making my final saying there was never a point to me personally. To me, you might be different. That's fine. That felt like, okay, UConn's going to lose this game or they're going to have some sort of hiccup. They haven't had it once. The only way San Diego State stays in this game tomorrow, they have to score over 70 points because UConn has scored 70 points in every game in this tournament. They have to score. If they do not score close to 70 or over 70, they will lose this game, and they will lose just like everyone else has. It'll be the same result, just like the others have had against this UConn team. This team is destined. This team is a machine right now. They are clicking on all cylinders. I've never felt like this team feared that UConn was going to lose. Even last night, even when Miami had that quick little run and like, oh, UConn's only up 8. It never felt like it was for 30 seconds. UConn got right back out to a 14-point lead. I just never have seen or felt that this team was ever going to blow a game right now. They're just clicking all cylinders. There's Kemba's team of magic, team of destiny. Not destiny, just a magical year. Shabazz, the same thing. 99. Damn it, Duke. 2003 and 2004. You just feel like this team is just just ready to go. San Diego State, the only way they win this game tomorrow is if they get into the 70s. So if not, UConn will be winning again. Another national championship. Make it 5. So
Duke, Georgia Tech, Kentucky, and Butler were the 4 teams we beat in the national championship.
And now possibly San Diego State. Ted, I don't know if you know, but not just the Final Four was on display this weekend. We also got baseball. If you didn't check out our baseball prediction, you can check us out on all social media platforms. With all our baseball predictions, our winners, our award winners. Ted picked Ohtani. Yawn.
It's not a yawn, bro. It's
yawn.
Just because it's.
Okay.
Here's the thing.
I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about how baseball.
You brought it up, then you're going to get the conversation.
Because I want to move on to my point.
My book's still open.
Your book's still open?
There's such a bias right now with him. You could see it.
Ted, you love him. What are you talking about? You're one of them.
Oh, I would love for him to be on the Yankees.
Is he the face of baseball?
Yes.
Is he better than Aaron Judge?
Yes. Because of his ability.
Ted can't even say it with a straight face.
It's because you don't want to admit that, but it's not that Aaron Judge is not good, bro. But it's like, imagine, like.
I get it. He can pitch. He's dominant as a pitcher, and he can hit.
It's not like he's an average pitcher. He's an ace. If he wasn't a hitter, he'd still be one of the better players in the league as just a pitcher. And then if you want to flip that script, he'd still be one of the 5 best hitters in baseball. Now, I know somebody's going to pull out baseball reference and be like, oh, he sucks with 2 strikes and this and that. But he's only been in the league a couple years. He's going to get better. Sorry, their team sucks. Okay, they're not going to.
And guess what? You want to know why he's also special? I'll give you this too.
He keeps them relevant.
Not even that. He can get multiple from both sides of the plate, hitting and pitching, $250+ million contracts as a hitter or just a pitcher.
I mean, you can make the argument that it's almost like. I mean,
It is fascinating. I'll give him that.
I can use it as maybe a basket. I mean, here's the way I would do it in a sense. It'd be like if Patrick Mahomes could play cornerback and be one of the 5 best cornerbacks.
Who'd you take that from, huh? I heard
but
that.
I mean,
I heard
like
that the other day.
Well, there's things like that because I'm trying to think. Like I was trying to say like basketball, but like we can't determine who the best basketball player is. But it'd be like he's the best offensive player and defensive player in the league. I mean, maybe Giannis a couple years ago was kind of close to that, but still basketball is so much different because it's interchangeable with, like
well,
it's not because like with football and like baseball, there's two different parts. Like there's defense and then there's hitting, and like football, there's defense. Hockey, it's like basketball. There's no different. I mean, if like, goalie was good enough to score 50. I mean,
let me ask you this.
You're talking about someone in today's game where, Trev, we're so protective of our players where, we can't let them pitch too much. We can't let them do this. And now you got a guy like, if he wanted to, he could be a 40-40 guy. He could have 40 steals and 40 home runs. He could also win 20 games, have 200+ Ks. He could be your closer. There's not a thing he can't do in the baseball relevance of what you want as a game. Now it's great. His contract next year is going to be close to $500 million. Someone's going to give it to him. It probably won't be the Yankees, which I would love it to be the Yankees. I think he stays on the West Coast because it's closer to Japan and travel instead of coming to the East Coast. But whatever being that said, it's just good to see baseball back. And it's good to see baseball back in a relevant way where like, we're not watching a game for 5 hours. Like I just
thank you for saying that. Thank you for bringing that up.
I'm looking at this and I'm going, we better hurry up because the Yankees are already in the 3rd inning. We've only done the show for like a half hour.
He's telling me to hurry up. Yeah, he's still just talking. Talk.
I was getting into a segment.
I'm only kidding.
Like baseball now, we're doing a show. We're only 27 minutes in. Maybe baseball started a couple minutes before us, but if you miss 30 minutes. The old days, you might only miss an inning and a half, maybe only an inning, depending on circumstances in the game. Yep. Right now, you're the 3rd inning, bro. Games are quick. Games are 2.5 hours. Games are like NBA. 2.5 hours and we're done.
I'm glad you brought that up
because I think it's good for most fans.
Yes, and I think that's a big deal for baseball because baseball is probably the one sport right now that is. I know hockey's trying to get its way back, and I think it's been a long overdue. Hopefully hockey could, but it's always been football, basketball recently. Baseball is kind of like that second or third, fighting for second or third with the NBA. Maybe the MLB can somehow get back to their relevancy because of the changes that they've made in the offseason. You just brought it up, Ted, with the timing. So the average length of the 15 games, opening day games that happened on Thursday were 2 hours and 45 minutes. I'd be like, that's still long. Well, for reference, last season's average game lasted 3 hours and 3 minutes. So 18 minutes.
And the year before that
shorter.
Was like 3 hours and 20 minutes.
How about this, Ted? The Guardians and the Mariners played last night.
Okay.
It was 2-0. The game lasted 2 hours and 3 minutes.
Well, that's got to be the shortest game.
That's what I was about to say.
I know the Tigers-Rays game on opening day was like 2:20, 2:15. Here's what I'll say to this.
Do you think these changes will be good for baseball and get some sort of like fandom back?
Well, there's two components to this. Just was talk in the sense of the timely manner of the games. Yeah. Of the 4 major sports, they're the only sport that didn't have a game clock. Okay, football has a game clock. Hockey, basketball, they have a game clock. You know when it's start time. You know when it ends time. Yeah. We know how the quarters go. Baseball, there is no clock. There was no clock. Baseball could take forever. There was no pitching clock. There was no hitting clock. There's no game clock. You could have a 6-hour game. All right. What they're trying to do is accommodate to the average fan, right? Ted has no problem watching a 4-hour baseball game sometimes.
Do you?
I honestly, if I'm at work or I'm doing something,
that's different. If you're sitting there, at a stadium,
I don't.
It's different when you're at work because you got nothing else to do and you got to watch something.
But also, if I'm at the bar, I have no problem sitting there watching the Yankee game at the bar. Listen.
You're at a bar when you're drinking. You're not paying attention to the game. You're giving bad examples now.
Listen, shut up. Don't tell me what I'm doing. I'm telling you the real truth.
You are. You said at work when you have to watch TV.
But here's what I'll say is, if you got kids, right? Yankees start at 7:00. Now I know they've done things where they move the Yankee games to 6:30. But now if you're on the East Coast and you're a younger kid, you want to watch the Yankees, a game that starts at 7 and is only 2.5 hours, you're done by 9:30. That's still not usually past your bedtime. You can get that in. Where the old days, it's like they couldn't watch a full baseball game, and that changes. As you get older and things come in, but like your time is crucial. We only get 24 hours a day, so don't have maybe 4 hours to watch a baseball game. People got to get up early in the morning, got to go to school, got to go to work. So squeezing a 2.5 hour game, watching works for the common fan, and that's good. But what it's not going to probably work for is a fan that goes to the game and has to use the bathroom 3 times because he has had too many beers, or he's got to go get food for his family. And the line at Yankee Stadium takes a half hour. And when you started in the second inning, you came back, it's a 5th inning because the game is now quicker. So that is where it's going to affect the inter-fan of the game. But if you're home where majority of the people are watching the games, that's where it's going to be a benefit. You could tell your wife, hey, listen, I'm going to watch the Yankee game. Oh, you're going to be there all day. No, it's going to be done in 2.5 hours. Be done. Oh, all right, cool, perfect. That works to the benefit. Reason why people didn't like baseball, not enough runs, and the game's too slow. Why don't common kids and us don't want to play baseball?
And it's everybody's attention span.
But why do people want, as much as a lot of people in this country, and I'll say it true, so there's a lot of, depending on race and where you live, a lot of people don't like basketball. But basketball is entertaining because it's back and forth. There's constant movement.
It's fast action. Yes.
Even though a lot of you might see non-scoring sometimes, there's action back and forth similar to hockey. And then football, listen, there's nothing to say bad about football because even though there's a break, people don't care.
Even though the refs suck.
Yeah, football is God in this country.
Football
is God.
That's a new quote. That's a new one from Ted. On Palm Sunday, football is God.
It just kind of slipped out, but I mean, but come on, bro. Like, think about it. You've seen some fanatics, bro. People take football like God, bro. Smash TVs.
Hold on. See, now you just took it to a whole nother level with that. When people smash, that's not a fan.
But
that's just an effing idiot. You smash your TV because of look. We've been through a bunch. I know, and we don't. We've seen plenty of heartbreak from the New York. First of all, if you broke a TV, I'm breaking your face. Then, if you're breaking a TV over a game,
break your ass.
We've seen plenty of heartbreak from the New York Giants. We ain't breaking no TV, bro. That's just common sense. That's dumb. That's not a fan. That's just stupid. That's the same thing like saying, "Oh yeah, I'm a fan, but I'm gonna go burn somebody's jersey." It's not a fan. You're just an idiot. Here's an ass.
I got some other stuff for you too. I want to tell you.
Also, the other thing quickly that was a big thing: stolen bases. Stolen bases were drastically up, and that's a good thing. People like action and stolen bases. People like seeing people steal bases.
Well, may I interrupt you for a second?
Of course.
Through 35 games so far, I don't know. Did you have the MLB.com up on your site?
No.
Okay, so through 3 calendar days of the season, there's been 35 total games in the season. There have been a total of 49 steals on 56 attempts. Now, what does that mean? There's an 87% success rate. During the same time frame last year, bud, there was only 34 games. There were 17 steals on 26 attempts for 65%. Now, what that means?
How many attempts per game, though?
It doesn't matter.
Well, compared to last year, I had a stat. This is why I asked.
Here's what it says. Last year, there was 35 games. There's been 56 attempts already this year. Last year in 34 games, there was only 26. So there's been 30 more attempts on steals. There's been, 17 this year, 49 steals. So you're almost talking like 150% more of a success rate. You're going from 63 to 87%. There's more steals. There's more action, which means more movement for betterment of the game because people don't want to go there and go, all right, first guy's up. We'll watch 8 pitches. He walks, sit there. Next guy swings, 3 pitches, strikeout. I'm like, all right.
You start falling asleep like Ted at the Giant game.
I mean, if I could say it's effing boring, bro. It's boring, bro. Like honestly, like grab your phone out and watch a TikTok video and be like, oh, the bat's still going. Like you're just bored. But now
you just go to the bar then in that situation.
But now with steals, there's action. It keeps the fan interactive. And for teams that have guys that can steal bases, it's because of the rule where you can only throw over twice.
Yeah,
that changes the whole ball game. Now he can't throw over. Now The Yankees are not going to be stealing bases. We know that. I mean,
Well, with
Volpe,
Volpe there, I think that
but
brings a
guys,
little
you know,
energy.
guys like Trey Turner.
I'm just saying that, like, when I see the positivity that's coming from these changes, that's a good sign for baseball, because baseball just needs some sort of drastic change where they can get some sort of support back to it. You're already going to get your supporters, no doubt. But you're trying to bring in that new class, that next generation class. That's all about football and basketball. And with changes like that, you want action. The attention span nowadays is very short. They want to get right to the point. Everything's fast, on the moment. Let's go. Baseball needs to start catching up with that, and I think this is a drastic step in the right direction because of these changes. Stolen bases bring more action. Stolen bases also could bring more runs too, which fans always want to see. And with this pitch clock violation too, I think that can help moving forward, because we don't, like you said, Ted, nobody wants to just see dragging and dragging and dragging. People want to see action. People want to see it fast.
So
And
the
I think
Yankees are the fourth.
with these changes going forward, it can only help baseball. I don't think it
So
can
y-
hurt baseball.
So Yankees are the fourth slowest team in baseball. The only three teams below them are Boston, then the Chicago White.
Why are you looking like
Then the
that?
because
Why
the
are you
chart,
why are
because
you
the chart graph is on a sideways.
Yo, this literally
spectrum
man was like, "What's up?"
at San Francisco Giants. Shut up. I'm like this. Yeah, don't worry.
So
Um,
we're all so to quickly recap. We're both on UConn, right?
Yeah, of course. That's easy.
Yeah,
I picked them before
I
the
know
season.
you. I know you. Look, if Duke wasn't in the tournament, I probably would have picked them. All right,
you should.
but I
Have
always
UConn.
pick my.
You should have picked Duke versus UConn in the championship like a smart guy, but you didn't
And
want
what
to
would
pick
that
UConn.
have done for me? So I could watch one half of my final.
Well, at least you would have had a chance to win some things, but you want to pick,
I picked the
against
Big
UConn.
12. I
You
picked
wanna
the
pick
Big 12.
Kansas.
I picked Kansas and Texas. What did I pick? Bad teams to pick?
Yeah, you did. Should have went with the Florida school in Miami, and you should have went
Oh
with your
yeah,
home.
I absolutely knew Florida Atlantic was going to win the bracket that Duke
Well, you
was
should have
in.
chose Miami. Why
I
not?
like
You're
Miami.
from
I don't
Florida.
like Miami. I don't like Miami.
And then you pick your home state, like I wrote on the Instagram post.
I don't like Miami.
Listen, I like everything that baseball is doing. I like the pitch count. The games are quicker.
Absolutely.
I like that's bringing more activity with the things. I also like that they got rid of the infield shift, especially because we're Yankee guys and like guys like Rizzo and other guys. Listen, I want action, bro. Stop all these effing rules. Put this. Stop. We want to see. Bring the fences in. We want more home runs. We want more action. We want backyard ball. Let's go. Wiffle ball. Boom. Let's get the runs. We want people don't want to see 2-0, bro. That's why like soccer in this country sucks and no one gives a shit about it, because there's not enough points scored. Maybe if there was like a 3-point goal, a 2-point goal, and a 1-point goal based on distance or something, maybe it'd make it interesting. But like, I want runs. I want like the interactive fan, the common fan, not the diehard fan, not the 70-year-old fan that's been watching baseball since it was black and white, wants runs. We want action. We want points, just like basketball. People like overs. People want runs. There's gambling is huge in this country. DraftKings, things. No one wants to see a 2-0 game, really. I mean, unless it's the postseason and you got the diehards. The common fan, when you watch a baseball game, wants to see, like the game the first day. What was it? Blue Jays Cardinals. I believe they had 19 runs. They had multiple steals.
Yeah, that was the longest game of the
that was only still 3.5 hours. But that's interactive. Like, that's fun. Like, I've been to a game where I've seen 26 runs. I've seen 4 home runs. And it's like, you don't want to leave your seat because you just don't know what's going to happen next. Unless there's a no-hitter or a perfect game or some type of game where a pitcher's, really dual and he's got 10, 11, 12 Ks in the fifth, where there's possible history. I want to see runs, like, because it's just boring. And we live in a world where things in life have to be quick. We're not waiting for tomorrow or 5 minutes down the road to our answer. We hit our phone, we press Google, we ask Siri and go, what is the answer? Not like mom when you used to go pull out the dictionary, pull the encyclopedia, look it up. I ain't got time for that shit. I ain't got time for that. I need answers now, all right? I want loving, I go right for my phone. I need this, I got that. You know what I mean? We're not looking – I need things now. We're not waiting for tomorrow.
I want things now.
You know what I mean.
Of course. I got one more quick question for you.
Talk to me.
What do I eat for dinner tonight? Because I haven't taken out any food. So what do I do?
So I got leftovers.
Yeah, you got leftovers. I got nothing.
Here's my big compliment. Do I take the leftovers for dinner tomorrow night, making my life easy?
Yes. It's the championship game. Are you working a double or just a regular?
Just a single tomorrow.
So definitely bring that for leftovers. Watch the
So
championship
bring the
game.
penny al vodka and chicken parm for dinner.
I'm out of here. I don't even want to listen to this nonsense. This is
That-
negativity. This is negativity in my life.
So we got some stuffed breads left. We got some chicken
All right,
parm.
never mind. You know what? I ask it, and then he starts just, here you go. Here's everything else. Here's the mudslide. Poof. Here's the avalanche. Poof.
But it is Sunday. Like I mean, I like to have a nice some penny al vodka chicken parm, and then I can start tomorrow fresh.
Dude, I had the double down.
It's good.
So it was so good, man. You
Double
don't need
chicken.
you don't need the cheese. You don't need the cheese because we know Ted likes cheese on things, but Ted doesn't like cheese on things because he's a freaking wacko. Whatever. It was so good.
Was it?
It was so good.
So double chicken. And what was in between it? Cheese and bacon?
It's two chicken. It's literally like a chicken sandwich, but instead of the buns, it's a chicken sandwich with bacon and cheese.
In between two chickens.
So good.
So your
and
hands
the chickens,
gotta be,
they're not small. Oh, dude,
so your
but
hands gotta be greasy as shit.
Who cares?
I'm just saying. I wasn't like.
Are you being a prima donna now?
No, I'm just saying. Your
I got to figure out what I'm eating tonight
because you're becoming a fat bastard.
No,
all this
dude,
fast food
I just got off a sick. I haven't really eaten. I just had a stomach bug. I haven't eaten.
I mean, that's when you live in Florida, you have not many choices. So
I might get some Thai food tonight.
Go to Hawker's tonight. Asian.
I want some Thai food, some healthy.
I want. You know what I want? I want hibachi.
There you go. Oh, look at that. You already made your decision. Now I have to figure out mine still. I asked you a question. And Ted comes out. So somehow
probably it's more like Chipotle. So I'll make it easy for myself.
Chipotle's overrated.
I like Chipotle.
It's overrated.
You've never had it. So
yes, I've had everything that I've tried that I either do not
you
like.
You never had it with me, where I go and order and I make it for you.
What does that do?
Because see, what I do is I order the bowl and I get a little bit of extra, and then what I do
I get a little bit of guac.
Here's the thing.
Guac.
No, I don't do the
you
guac.
Get guac. I don't want no guac.
I don't do the guac on it because they charge you, and I'm too cheap to pay the extra $2 for the guac. Okay, be dead honest. So what I do,
at least he's honest.
I get the bowl, but then you can ask for 2 burritos on the sides, and they don't charge you for them. And they steam them and they wrap them. So then what I do is I shake up the bowl, and then when I get home, I open up the 2 burritos, and now I can make 2 burritos for the price of 1 bowl, and it saves myself like $8-10. It works every time. Trust me. Swear to God, bro, it works.
If you want to save money per year, call Ted Keys at. Teddy Keys.
Ted Keys at 1-800-KEYS.
At 1-800-KEYS to the city.
Coupon code 906010.
1-800-KEYS to the city at boothisman.com. So we got UConn winning tomorrow. Keep an eye on
women's game.
Women's game. That girl, my God, I can't believe South Carolina lost.
3:30 today. 3:30. UConn's on.
3:30 game.
3:30, bro.
Really?
Wow. Palm Sunday,
really?
Bro. Oh, baby, Yankees are up 4-0.
Well,
let's see how
the Yankees are playing right now. We also Ted WrestleMania night 1. Very good.
Yeah, I don't know what happened in night 2.
Night 2 is tonight. Cannot wait. I cannot wait to see
bomb.
that. Good. Well, night 1 of WrestleMania was a huge success. Night 2 is tonight.
Hey,
we got the
NFL.
We got our NFL. Hold on. We got our NFL mock draft 2.0. We're going to be posting that out tomorrow. And we're going to be keeping an eye on this. We're going to be keeping an eye on this Lamar Jackson situation because this is truly fascinating that this man is not on a new team or has no contract. We're definitely keeping an eye on it.
I want to give you
what were you going to say?
The Yankees, 3 home runs. Judge hit a home run. Stan hit a home run. And Higgy hit a home run.
Well,
Judge already got 2.
Here comes 63.
We'll have to talk more baseball because we didn't.
We will. No, I just wanted to get of the overall take. I want to bring in Joe for that. I definitely want to get him on, talk about the Yankees, talk baseball in general. But I definitely wanted to. I just wanted to talk the first weekend and how it's maybe hopefully bringing back some sort of importance.
Well, listen, it seems like it's great. I mean, I know. Just seeing from the things of the basic fans, Red Sox had a nice walk.
Hopefully it continues to go. Hopefully it starts to continue. It's not just a one weekend thing. It's continuance.
Listen, there's right now baseball hasn't taken in because there's still so much going on with, you got NBA playoffs going to be starting in about 2 weeks. You got the hockey playoffs in about 2-3 weeks. You got the Masters coming up this weekend. You got March Madness ending. Got a lot of action. The draft is 25 days.
Ted, let's be honest. When March Madness ends, I know you got the Masters this weekend. The draft is not until the end of the month. There's not a lot of action. There's not really a lot of action.
No, there's nothing exciting. Well, you got the NBA and hockey playoffs.
Okay. We'll see what
You're not
happens.
going to be watching the Lakers?
Of course I'm going to be watching. It's sports. I love watching. I'm going to watch
And
my
then
Lakers.
I got the Rangers on. The Rangers in the playoffs.
Got to watch our Rangers. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Let's go Huskies. Let's see if they can win their 5th national championship, or does San Diego State shock the world? I doubt it, but we're going to see. Time will tell.
Rangers are up 3-1 right now against the Capitals. Beautiful
time. Let's go watch it. Ladies and gentlemen,
we are a key weekend.
That orange damn shirt.
Yo, it's funny. I was looking at the weather this week. It looks partly cloudy all week. Warm, but partly cloudy.
Oh, it looks like things are looking up for you guys in weather-wise. So
yeah, things are looking up here.
Hopefully it looks nice when I get there in the summertime.
Probably not. Probably rain the whole time.
I hope not. Because if so, I'll just cancel the flight. Even though I haven't done the flight.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll just move it to another week.
Yeah, of course. Even though I just took off. I already have those days off. So
we can cancel it.
Whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the national championship. All those UConn Husky fans, enjoy it. Hopefully they go for number 5. Yankees, let's see how they pan out. We'll be back next episode. We are Keys of the City. We are out.